our next speaker, Marianne D'Alessandro.
You got it.
Thank you. My apologies for stumbling there. I am so happy to have you here. Welcome to this WEN Talk. And with that, I'm going to go ahead and give you the stage.
Thanks. Can you hear me okay?
I can hear you loud and clear.
Perfect. Great. Thank you so much for having me, Haley. I'm really excited to be here to talk to the group today. And, you know, this is really exciting for me because not only do I get to speak to everybody, I get to talk about what I love. And what I absolutely love is newsletters. So I'm Marianne D'Alessandro. My business is Time Flies Admin Services. And I do provide a virtual support, and my main focus is newsletters, newsletter creation, and content creation. So somebody called me a newsletter stager, which was kind of interesting, but that's sort of what I do is I help people get on this plan, on this journey to effectively using a newsletter. And that's what I want to talk about today. I have 10 ways to use your newsletter much more effectively. So I'm going to jump right in and start. So the first, of course, is to build your content strategically. You know, what happens every month? This is exactly what happens. And I'm sure it happens to you because I know it happens to me if I don't have a plan. It's like, oh my God, it's, you know, whatever date of the month and I got to get my newsletter out and I don't know what I want to talk about. So what is it I'm going to talk about? Oh, let me just scroll through and find a topic and throw it out there. Okay, and there's nothing wrong with that because you want to be in front of the audience. But what you really want to think about is a journey for your audience. So where is it you want to take your audience in the next 3 to 5 months? And ideally, it's wherever you're taking your business, right? So if you want to grow a specific area of your business, if you want to start planning workshops, if you've got products that are going to be launching or services, you want to create this journey to take your audience on along with you. So that's why the planning is so important because it's a gear up. It's almost using your newsletter like a little funnel to bring your audience to a specific point to benefit your business. The next point when it comes to newsletters is, you know, introduce yourself. I really dislike, and this is my personal pet peeve, honestly, but I really dislike getting a newsletter and the person's name, contact information is not in there. So make sure you always have a little section where people can contact you, people can click there and know where you are, know where to find you on social media or your website, wherever you want to direct them, and make sure that you have that in there. The other thing is don't hide behind your newsletter. Tell people about you. Tell them a little bit about you each time or every few newsletters because new people come onto your list, right? So now they still need to get to know you. So take the opportunity in that newsletter to introduce yourself every so often and reintroduce yourself. The other is to nurture your newbies. So go in and share some past issues of your newsletter. Share some links so people can see a little bit back, some history about you, and learn a little bit more rather than just the new newsletter that they're on. So if I signed up today and you sent me a newsletter tomorrow, that's great. You know, I'm going to see what's there. But there's a couple of links on there where I can go back and look at some past articles. Maybe they're related to what you did, or even just, you know, read last month's issue. I probably will. And now I have an opportunity to learn a little bit more about you. You have an opportunity to market yourself a little bit more because you've given me another link to go to. So don't be afraid to do that in your newsletters. Break down your content into small pieces. You know, I remember putting a newsletter together for a client, and I kept insisting that this was just way too much info. And they kept insisting that they wanted to do this. Their newsletter was 12 pages. Yes, 12 pages. done in Canva, shared as a PDF. And I was like, no, guys, no, we can't do this. It's too much. And they're like, oh, no, we want to share all this. Too much info. Keep it really, really, really short. So Haley's telling me my screen is showing a yellow thing. I don't know what the yellow thing is, Haley. Let me adjust.
You got You're good.
Okay, thanks. Sorry. So where were we? We were at keep it short and small content. So content wise, I want you to, if you have a long article, post it somewhere, post your big blog somewhere, give them snippets of that blog, and then send them to read the whole thing. We really work in microbits nowadays. There's so much content coming at us. So if you send something out really long, more than likely people are going to skim it. So if they're going to skim it, why not just give them the key points of your newsletter to use it a lot more effectively to gain attention? Keep a document with all links and topics. So here's an interesting little tip to use your newsletter a little more effectively for you and to take it to the next level. If you keep a little spreadsheet of your newsletter, the month, the link to the newsletter, and the content, if you're on social media and somebody says, hey, what's your best tip for this? Or I'm looking for information on this, and you've written an article about that in your newsletter, bang, you go to that document, you pull out the link and you say, here, I've got this article that I wrote. I hope it will help you. Or here's a little piece from the article that I wrote. If you want the whole thing, let me know, I'll share it with you. So now you're continuing to use that content a lot more effectively and using it over and over again, because let's face it, you're taking time to put this together. So now you can go ahead and share a lot more information and use it on your social media as well, and go back easily. If you're keeping a list, an Excel spreadsheet, a Word document, wherever you want to keep it, Trello, whatever it is, just keep the links and the topics there so you can easily click and find content. Okay, make sure your brand is visible. So when you are building that newsletter, the documents, whatever it is, make sure it's branded. Make sure it's your colors. Make sure it looks like you. Make sure it's a reflection of who you are, your personality, and bring that into what you send out to people. Because for anybody who's visual, when they start seeing your logo, they start seeing your face, they start seeing your colors, they start to remember. So keep it very visual and branded for yourself, your readers, and make sure you put your own personality in there. Reduce your work and share articles written by other people. We always think that we have to be the ones to write the article. Well, it's my newsletter, I got to write the article. It's not true. That is not true. You can show your expertise in your area by sharing other people's content, because what it shows is that you too are continuing to build your expertise, are continuing to learn from others, and you're willing to share that back out to people. So it shows you've invested in yourself. So don't be afraid to share content written by others to give your newsletter a little up-leveling or just a little more oomph, rather than something that you're writing all the time, to show that you are invested in yourself and your own personal and professional development. Recycle. So this is a biggie, right? Because we want to write new content. We feel we got to share all this new content. And new content is awesome. Yes, we want new content, of course. But when you have new people coming to your list, it's okay to go back and recycle some old content. So pull out an old article, pull out an old freebie, pull out an old opt-in, pull out something that is related to your journey, that is related to the goal where you're taking your audience with your knowledge, you're sharing your business, and reshare it. Because chances are that if somebody has read it, that's okay. They'll skim it again and they'll be reminded. If somebody is new, they haven't seen it yet. So now it's new to them. you can always just rewrite it. Take the content, rewrite it slightly in a different form, set it up a little differently, whatever it is. But don't waste your good content on just letting it sit there in your archives. Go back and reuse that, right? The reduce, reuse, recycle, save yourself some time and effort, and use that old content that you've had. Now, this is the biggie, and this probably should be like top number one, but keep your own list, right? What's happening in Facebook right now? Every single day, I see people tell me that their account's been hacked, their account's been cloned, they've been shut down, they're in Facebook jail, they've been hacked, they've been this, they've been that, they've lost everything. So, and that's really sad. It's actually happened to a client of mine twice now, where her account was hacked the first time and she wasn't able to get it back. And she had thousands of followers on there. And now Facebook has told her they've disabled her account for some reason. Oh, she reported a clone. She reported somebody was cloning her, and Facebook decided to disable her account. Okay, so if you are relying solely on social media to connect with people, then please don't do that, because once you lose all those followers, it's really difficult to get them all back. But if you've created a newsletter, if you've got an email list and you've got the email addresses, now what do? You send a message saying, I've been disabled or I've been hacked. If you were following me, thank you so much. Here's my new social media. Please follow me again. I'd like to reconnect with you. I'd like to stay connected. I'd like to continue to share information. You own your list. When you have those email addresses from your newsletters, giving, opt-in sign-ins, whatever it is, you own that list. Social media does not. So make sure when you are considering working with a newsletter, you keep a good, clean list, a good, clean database, so that you always have it at hand. My final thought with your newsletters is, track your opt-ins and tag accordingly, especially if you're just starting out. We like to just say, okay, I'm just going to add people to my list and that's it. But really use the tags feature in most of the programs or the groups or the segments, whichever it is, to know where people are coming from. So, if you have a freebie that you're giving and you create an opt-in and get this freebie if you sign up here, tag that so you know where they're coming from, because then it allows you, as you grow your list, as you grow your business, to be more targeted. What are people looking for from you? What is it that they have most interest in? Hey, they signed up for, my top 10 tips for Pinterest. Wow, I got 50 people from one simple little post within 2 days. Okay, I need to market to these people more about Pinterest. Okay, so you need to think about where it is you're going to take that list as time goes on, and do that right from the beginning. If you haven't done it yet, it's okay. Start doing it now, because as your business grows, you'll have a better base. So you want to use a newsletter not just to send a little article or blog to your audience. You want to use it to grow your business. It's a journey. It's a process. You're taking your audience along your business with you. And along the way, you're using that audience to grow your business as a sales funnel, right? Think about that. That audience becomes a sales funnel. So where does that audience fit into your business? Where do you want to nurture that audience? How do you want to grow that audience? And remember to own that audience, because it's yours. These are people who connected with you and you want to keep them. So give them relevant information, give them solid, good information, share your knowledge, share your expertise, share your growth, share your business, of course, and if you're an MLM, and I hear this a lot, I want to touch on this, please. If you are an MLM, a multi-level company, marketing company, then, and you say, well, our head office sends something out every month. I don't want to send them anything else. You want to make sure your audience hears directly from you. And there's so many ways to do that by featuring specials and products and things about you and your use in your life. So open up to your audience and let them see a little bit about you. So those are 10 ways to use your newsletter effectively. And I've got a couple of minutes, and I just want to talk a little bit about know, like, and trust. When COVID hit, and it hit all of us, and it was like, okay, we're not going out anymore. We're not seeing people in person. Oh my God, what do I do? What do I do? How do I get to know, like, and trust people? Well, you know what? Your newsletter is a big know, like, and trust. When people read the newsletter that you send them, they're getting to know you. And when they like the information that you share and you're opening yourself up to people, now they're starting to like you. And the more information you give them, the more you open up, the more you share stories, the more you give them information that means something, that is helpful, the more they trust you. And who do we want to work with, people? Who is it we want to work with? We want to work with people we know, like, and trust. That is so important. So when you are preparing your content in whichever manner, think about, what is it I'm giving my audience to know? What is it that my audience will like? And how will I build their trust through this piece of content? Know, like, and trust. So go on and start that newsletter or continue that newsletter, create your journey, create your plan, and happy writing. Thank you, Haley, so much for letting me be part of today. It's been really fun and great speakers. I've really enjoyed it. Thank you.
Thank you so much for doing this. And I'm just going to put a plug out there for having a newsletter. Because I do social media management for people and we do marketing as well, I have seen too many people lose access to their Facebook group, lose access to their Facebook account, and have to start their business over completely from scratch. Y'all, listen to Marianne. This is so valuable. How would somebody go about getting in touch with you?
Me? Yeah.
Yeah, with you.
Yep. My business is Time Flies Admin Services. So my website, www.timeflies-adminservices.ca.
Perfect. Thank you so much, Marianne. I appreciate you being here and being a speaker.